almost every single part of your life.
Will you remember me?
George Santos is, I'm just a regular person, Piers.
Don't let your life pass you by.
I'm not a fraud, I'm not a fake.
Weep not for the memory.
Guess what? Rosa Parks didn't sit in the back, and neither am I going to sit in the back.
I'm going to give the fashion review of the new lunar suit.
Today I rise to honor the beginning of Yom HaAtzmaut, Israel's Independence Day.
You're not Jewish.
Well, I never said I was. Guys, I'm Jewish. I'm Jewish.
I actually went to school on a volleyball scholarship.
I put myself through college and got an MBA from NYU.
Most people lie on their resumes.
He is George Santos, also Anthony DeVolder, and at least once a drag queen named Katara Ravache.
Were you ever a drag queen in Brazil?
No, I was not a drag queen in Brazil, guys. I was young and I had fun at a festival.
I will remember you.
Let's go, Matt.
Will you remember me?
Ow. Guys, you gotta relax. You're assaulting me.
Don't let your life pass you by.
Since I've gotten here, I can chew and walk gum at the same time. I can chew gum and walk at the same time.
Weep not for the memory.
I want to talk about what comes next. Because Donald Trump's over. But Republicans don't die. They just fade away.
Stomp on our neck, and then they tell us, just chill. Okay, just relax.
Before we get to all that, I do want to bid a brief farewell to George Santos before the world forgets about him, which is sadly already happening. In fact, just to show you how quickly the world has moved on from this.
I love Hump Day. I love this. It's a nice reminder that no matter how bad things get, the end is in sight. Unless you're talking about Donald Trump. Because nothing, but nothing will ever stop this guy.
Much like Richard Nixon with his stacking of the court and ultimately giving us Justice Roberts.
The Capitol before the vote was even over, got into a getaway car and drove off into the sunset where he burst into 1,000 butterflies and embodied the role of soap opera villain by wearing his overcoat like a Phantom of the Opera cape. Of course, Santos is such a bad con man. If he did wear a Phantom of the Opera mask, it would probably just look like the other half of his face.
He appointed the Supreme Court after working in the Reagan White House. You know, the most legalistic White House of all time. See Iran-Contra.
Did you just never need glasses? Was that also a thing that wasn't a thing? You're a weird dude, George Santos, if that's your real name. Throughout his brief time in Congress, Santos has become an expert at giving breathless answers while being chased by hordes of reporters. But as he escaped the Capitol...
Waiting to see if he says anything there. Let's listen in. Nope. Jumped in the car, closed the door, windows rolled up.
Any comment? Mr. Santos, any comment?
Mr. Santos, hold on, Mr. Santos, that's my car. Wait,
He's way ahead in the polls. He's getting all the endorsements. And I'm not surprised because there is no one on earth like Donald Trump. Well, except maybe one person.
For his part, Santos told reporters, quote, "Why would I want to stay here? To hell with this place."
A bachelor contestant in back of limo trying to convince us she's happy she didn't get a rose. You can't break up with them. They broke up with you.
There's always something that comes next. And in that case, what's coming next is the ending of voting rights. The Voting Rights Act is going to be gutted this year. But that's a video for another time.
Of course, one can't help but notice the obvious difference between the GOP's treatment of George Santos and his treatment of Donald Trump. Because that's how Donald Trump should have left the Capitol, locked out of his office, hounded by reporters, and fleeing in the backseat of a nondescript compact car with his knees crunched up against his chest.
This video is about
To the crimes committed by Donald Trump. Sure, Santos spent campaign funds on Botox and OnlyFans, claimed he was a star volleyball player at Baruch College, and wore a stolen scarf to a Stop the Steal rally, but...
what comes next
Because Trump tried to overturn an election and end constitutional democracy in America, I would be thrilled if the worst thing Trump did was spend campaign money on Botox and Sephora. Then at least he'd have clear skin and beautiful plump lips.
And you can only really know what comes next if you look back at what came before.
Support the next president of the United States, Donald Trump. To take a break from my full-time career of writing things on Facebook, to fly down her and lend my support to the next president of the United States, Donald J. Trump. Since you've been gone, yeah.
There's an OG Trump, y'all. Don't forget her. My God, it was amazing. No one did it like she did.
First, let me just tase the part of my brain that understands sentence structure.
I got indicted 4 times because I'm questioning a crooked election. But we're not questioning it. We know the results. We know it. And when we go through courts, if we ever even have to do it, because you have presidential privilege and also if we ever, we should never have to do that. But if we do, we want to redo the election only from the standpoint, we want that election, we want to look at it very carefully. We have so much information. There was so much corruption in that election.
Jesus Christ. I like to claim Joe Biden is in cognitive decline, but this dude is in a cognitive free fall.
I'm here because we Americans are struggling. So many of us have lost our jobs at the factory or our reality shows about Alaska.
It sounds like his plan is to win the 2024 election so he can redo the 2020 election and win that, which would then make him ineligible to win the 2024 election.
God, I have missed you. It's like a magical eagle made a wish on a flag pin and it came to life. Which is great. For me.
At which point starts fading out of inauguration photos, Marty McFly style. Oh no.
I mean, my God, there was nothing like Sarah Palin. She was just absolutely insane. I tell you what, you know, they used to call me Barracuda on the basketball court, and you know, what they call a pig with lipstick, a hockey mom, or something like that.
We've seen our own children targeted by the police for no reason other than they committed some crimes.
Trump, admittedly, has given me so much material to make jokes about. Nobody compares to the original Material Girl.
Trump's kookiest lawyer, who looked in her mugshot like she was in a staring contest with the ghost of Rudy Giuliani.
We turn on the news every morning and are shocked to see we're not even on it because we've been replaced by immigrants like Geraldo Rivera.
We got lots of theories, we just don't have the evidence. And this is a guy who recently filmed the Thanksgiving episode of his internet show with a fake fireplace behind him that made it look like flames were coming out of his head. My brain's overheating. Quick, grab me one of the spare brains.
I want you to try to picture this. It's a nice thing to picture. Exactly 1 year from tomorrow, former President Barack Obama, he packs up the teleprompters and the selfie sticks and the Greek columns and all that hopey-changey stuff, and he heads on back to Chicago, where I'm sure he can find some community there to organize again.
And like in 2016, we just ran the whole East Coast of the country, and that made up for California, which I actually believe that if they didn't have rigged elections out there, if they didn't have all the paper ballots, you know, they send out like 36 million ballots, and nobody knows where the hell they're going to or coming from. I think a few people know where they're going to, and a few people know where they're coming from. But I think if you had a real election and Jesus came down and God came down and said, I'm going to be the scorekeeper here, I think we'd win there. I think we'd win in Illinois, and I think we'd win in New York.
I'm not going to chill. In fact, it's time to drill, baby, drill down and hold these folks accountable.
Drill, baby, drill! Hopey, changey, hopey! Do mainstream media!
If God and Jesus came down here, they'd take one look at Trump and say, enough of this heathen and his ravings. Bring us to the candidate the evangelicals support. What's that? Is him? Oh, no, 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 no.
They stomp on our necks and say, what's the big deal? Take a chill pill, Jill. But we're mad. We've been had, and we're not so glad, quoth the Lorax.
Been wearing this political correctness, kind of like a suicide vest. We kowtow, and we apologize, and then we bend over and say, thank you, enemy. You ready for a commander-in-chief who will let our warriors do their job and go kick ass?
Hallelujah!
Woo! 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 Woo!
Jesus Christ, this bitch went on and on and on, and people fucking ate it up. It was astonishing. Oh yeah, my goodness, I tell you what. They actually had a damn reality. Ate it up. And when Sarah Palin was gone, they could not deal. And now Trig is, working for the circus, and he is just so popular there, I don't have to deal with him, and he doesn't have to deal with me. I'm glad somebody got something out of this. Snow machine. Or something like that. It was ridiculous.
Right-winging, bitter, clinging, proud clingers of our guns, our God, and our religions, and our Constitution. No more pussyfooting around. Can I get a hallelujah?
Trump would somehow find a way to lie about that, too. Wouldn't be enough for God himself to come down to earth. Trump would have to embellish the story to make himself look good. Better than God, even. I remember one time God came up to me, big God, strong God. Tears pouring down his celestial face.
Sarah Palin just guaranteed Trump the evangelical vote because I think she was speaking in tongues.
Trump does the exact same thing with a slightly different rap. Of course, that's getting debunked now with what's going on in New York. Turns out the motherfucker was lying, didn't actually have any money.
And running onto his flowing heavenly robes, and he said to me, Donald, do you won the election? Now touch my finger like Adam, and I said, no thanks, I'm a germaphobe. And I feel like you've touched a lot of sick people.
Goodness.
And then, no.
Well, the former president finally got around to some campaign promises amid lots of cheering, as you heard. Many untruths. The 2020 election was not rigged. It was not stolen.
We're a rock and roller, holy roller, pushing stroller, pro bowler with an abscess molar.
Even Fox cut away and called him a liar. The official 24/7 Trump network, that's like the San Diego Zoo cutting away from its panda cam and putting up a disclaimer that says, that's not a panda, it's a former congressman dressed up as one.
So now you have to have the remake. I mean, which way are you going to go? Who's going to take that mantle when Trump's in prison? Vivek Ramaswamy? Please.
Is what the lamestream media is spinning. Heads are spinning. They're saying Trump and his trumpeters.
Now, of course, in most cases, it's the son of the king, or the emperor, or whatever they have in Maga, that would take over the mantle, take the reins when their father went down in battle. So I give you the Black Knight.
Standing up for the Lord and Christianity and just religious freedom in general. I mean, something that is massively attacked right now. And I'm going to get hit for saying this, but organized religion would not be what it is right now if it wasn't for Donald Trump.
George Santos proves that the Republican Party is capable of expelling fraud, liars, and criminals from their ranks. In Trump's case, they just refuse to do it because it's politically expedient to remain loyal to him.
Because Sarah Palin was the OG.
Our right-winging, bitter, clinging, proud clingers of our guns, but he can kick ISIS ass because he commands fire.
Even if he's threatening to destroy constitutional governance in America. What happened to George Santos is what should have happened to Donald Trump, although there's still a very good chance Santos comes back and runs for Congress again, claiming his name isn't George.
Jesus Christ. For all you teachers and teamsters, you farmers and charmers, Whether you're a mom or 2 broke girls or 3 men and a baby.
And the reality is, there's enough of these crazy fuckers that if Donald Trump is smart, he should put her on the ticket.
Our president's just bending over for ISIS while crony capitalists are sucking off the teat and slurping off the gravy train, and Congress is just working the ball.
Funny. Ha-ha, not funny. But now what they're doing is wailing, well, Trump and his trumpeters, well, they're not conservative enough. He doesn't get his power, his high, off of opium, other people's money. He builds big things, things that touch the sky.
Fortunately for us, Sarah Palin's too stupid to ever be on a ticket again. And Donald Trump is too narcissistic to give away some of the spotlight. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal.
Thank you, Iowa, and God bless some of the United States of America.
We notice something. More and more people are saying it. You're weak. You seem unsteady. You need help getting around. And wow.
An anomalous, really an ominous country, and you deserve.
Are you sure you don't have dementia? It runs in the family. Have you had a real doctor check you out? You keep confusing things.
And we did with Obama. We won an election.
Getting the facts wrong.
We just left pleasure. Paradise.
People laugh about it, about you, even your own people behind your back. You're winning the primary, but losing your power, your strength, your manhood. Face it, Donald. You're just projecting when you call Joe Biden old. He's stronger than you, fitter than you, smarter than you, a better man and a better president. Anyone can see it. And when you lay there at night, alone, you know we're right. You're falling apart, Donald, breaking down right in front of our eyes.
Guess what, America? I don't really think this guy should be president. I'm just here because he promised me a spot in his cabinet. And I belong in a cabinet because I'm full of spice and I got a great rack.